Here we have a Gladius, a modern reproduction, but it's still a Gladius. And the principal point I'm going to be making in this video is that this is a sword. Now, when people use the word Gladius today, they generally mean specifically this kind of weapon, the sort of sword used by a Roman legionary, and it's often described as a short sword. Yes, it's shorter than a lot of other swords, but it's quite definitely sword length. This is not a dagger. I'm telling you now, I'm holding one, and this does not have the feel of a dagger at all. This is a sword. Now, the word gladius, back in the day, just meant sword. So the Latin for sword is gladius. So when a legionary referred to his sword, he was referring to his sword, this thing. Now this one, this reproduction, has a blade length of 19.5 inches. Now a typical short sword of this design would actually have a blade of about 22 inches. So this one is actually about that much shorter than is typical, which is interesting when we start comparing this with other weapons at the time. So you see that overall length, it's the same length as this copis, or I call them, I say copis. Some people in my falsata video said, that's not a copis, it's a falcata. Yeah, if one of these is found in Spain and it's got a horse's head on the end of it, they call it a falcata. Otherwise, they're the same. Right. If we compare this with a Sparta, say this is the Roman longer sword, again, the difference isn't enormous. So yes, it's shorter than some other swords, but it's not really all that short. Now, one factoid that I've heard repeated a few times is that until the development of the AK-47, more people were killed with this weapon than with any other weapon. That might be sort of true, but I take that with a hefty pinch of salt, because it's one of those facts that relies on an awful lot of assumptions, estimates, and convenient definitions. I would say that far more people would have been killed by spears, so if you lump all spears together into the category spear, then it's probably the spear and then the AK-47. Right, so it's short-ish, but it's not that short. This is a legionary's chopping and thrusting weapon. You can see from the shape of the point that thrusting is definitely in mind, but it widens to here, and so you've got a definite chopping point here, so if anyone exposed a wrist or whatever, bang, you could definitely give him a pretty hefty clonk with it. Its shortness means that when you get in very, very close, you've got a lot of options for stabbing in all sorts of directions. If someone gets right up against me, perhaps he slams into my shield and pushes my shield right up against me, I can still bring my arm back far enough to get the point to play into any little chink that presents itself. I have heard it said that these would be held sideways in the hand like this, the stabbing between the ribs. Possibly sometimes, but I don't have any evidence to support that. It's an idea. So it must have been effective because they used them for an awful long time. It's a sword.